And he took Ezekiel, Yahweh took Ezekiel into the temple where the image of jealousy was found and was rooted. The center of it, or the headquarter of it, was inside the temple, inside the house of Yahweh. Now it is from the inside what is called gods, idols of various names manifests. Idols manifests from the temple down to the cities, towns, villages, communities, whatever they are called, in the land of Judah and by extension the land of Israel. So Israel was filled with worship of Baal. But then they had Yahweh. Yahweh was their father. Yahweh was their Shaddai. Yahweh was their everything. Then what do you see there? Worship of Baal and also worship of Yahweh. We can't have it both ends. We can't in terms of worship. And that is why Yahweh told us that his name will not be shared with anybody. You can't share his name with images, with idols, with whatsoever. And he says to his children, do not even allow yourself to be, mentioned, or your tongue or your mouth to mention Baal. Another. Bible will call Baal another competitor. And who is the author of Baal? Satan. Do not allow yourself to, either mix or mention or call or worship or, bow yourself to that. And it's part of the covenant commandments. The second commandment, the third commandment is all about worship. Even the fourth commandment, which is remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy, is all about worship. Now, if we don't identify whom we worship, our faith will enter into serious trouble, serious error. We would have driven ourselves into worshiping another. And that is why we have to know whom we are serving. I must tell you frankly, this morning we read Psalm 54 in our morning meditation devotion. We read Psalm 54. The first thing the psalmist requested Yahweh was to make his name available to them because of protection, because of defense. And that cue into what Yeshua said in John chapter 17. In John 17, he prayed its prayer of Yeshua about Yahweh's name. See, I came into this world, the people you gave me, I taught them and I provided them your word, and they understood your word. And I also protected them by the name you gave me, your name. So he said, now I'm not with them again, I'm coming to you. Father, protect them with the name you gave me. Hallelujah. So that you find out that if we don't know his name, we are in trouble. Then we'll be worshipping the Baal, the image of jealousy. It is deadly. The whole of chapter 8, chapter 9 spoke about that. In fact, in chapter 9, he punished them. Chapter 9 was punishment. It's where Yahweh, dealt with the tribe of Judah. And the picture there is Israelites who are not keeping to his commandments, worshipping him, they will die. They will not be marked. Because what he did was to mark his people. Those that are in obedience, he marked them. In these latter days, if you look at what happened in Ezekiel chapter 9, where he punished Israel, it's going to happen again. Revelation chapter 7, think it's chapter 7, verse 4, talk about marking his people. And in Revelation chapter 9 again, the mark of his people was the name of the Father, Yahweh, was marked on their forehead. So if we don't come to covenant faith, keeping the covenant, there is no way you will know who he is. And there is no way you'll be marked. So that is a major go inside, bring me my phone. Record it. So that is a major, call. Because no man can come to him except Yahweh call him. It's he that called us. And when he called us, we face worshiping him. Focus ourselves worshiping him. So that is what we had last week. So today we want to look at Ezekiel chapter 10. We look at Ezekiel chapter 10. Ezekiel 11. Thank you. Ezekiel record this.
Hi.
Now we take the title here, Departure of the Glory of Yahweh. Departure of the glory of Yahweh from Israel. Departure of the glory of Yahweh from Israel. Ezekiel chapter 10. We begin from there. Now, having punished them, Yahweh says, until you repent, I will not come back to you again. And Yeshua also in Matthew chapter 23, he told us, until Israel cry, repent, as they were crying in Egypt, they repented in Egypt, they called upon Yahweh, they didn't see any help. So it was their cry, their total repentance that brought Yahweh in to deliver them. So the same thing will happen in these latter days. Let's go through Ezekiel 10. Then I looked, and behold, in the firmament that was above the head of the cherubims, there appeared over them as it were a sapphire stone, as the appearance of the likeness of a throne. And they spake unto the man clothed with linen, and said, Go in between the wheels, even under the cherubim, and fill thy hand with coals of fire from between the cherubims, and scatter them over the city. And he went in my sight. Now the cherubims stood on the right side of the house when the man went in, and the cloud filled the inner court. Then the glory of Yahweh went up from the cherubim, and stood over the threshold of the house, and the house was filled with the cloud, and the court was full of the brightness of Yahweh's glory. And the sound of the cherubims' wings was heard even to the outer court, as the voice of the Almighty Yahweh when he spoke. And it came to pass that when he had commanded the man clothed with linen, saying, Take fire from between the wheels, from between the cherubims, then he went in and stood beside the wheels. And one cherub stretched forth his hand from between the cherubims unto the fire that was between the cherubims, and took thereof, and put it into the hands of him that was clothed with linen, who took it, and went out. And there appeared in the cherubims the form of a man's hand under their wings. And when I looked, behold, the four wheels by the cherubims, one wheel by one cherub, and another wheel by another cherub. And the appearance of the wheels was as the color of a beryl stone. And as for their appearances, they therefore had one likeness, as if a whale had been in the midst of a whale. When they went up upon their four sides. They turned not as they went, but to the place whither the head looked, they followed it. They turned not as they went, and their whole body, and their backs, and their hands, and their wings, and the wheels were full of eyes round about, even the wheels that they therefore had. And as for the wheels, it was cried unto them in my hearing, O whale, and everyone had four faces. The first face was the face of a cherub, and the second face was the face of a man, and the third the face of a lion, and the fourth the face of an eagle. And the cherubims were lifted up. This is the living creature that I saw by the river of Chebar. And when the cherubims went, the whales went by them. And when the cherubims lifted up their wings to mount up from the earth, the same whales also turned not from beside them. When they stood, these stood, and when they were lifted up, these lifted up themselves also, for the spirit of the living creature was in them. Then the glory of Yahweh departed from off the threshold of the house, and stood over the cherubims. And the cherubims lifted up their wings, and mounted up from the earth in my sight. When they went out, the whales also were beside them, and everyone stood at the door of the east gate of Yahweh's house. And the glory of Yahweh of Israel was over them all above. This is the living creature that I saw under Yahweh of Israel by the river of Chebar, and I knew that they were the cherubims. Everyone had four faces apiece, and everyone four wings, and the likeness of the hands of a man was under their wings, and the likeness of their faces was the same faces which I saw by the river of Chebar. Their appearances and themselves, they went everyone straight forward. Now, Ezekiel chapter 10 is just telling us, as we heard earlier on in chapters 1 and 2, about these cherubims, the whale, the lifting up of the presence of Yahweh, the glory of Yahweh. That verse 18 talk about the glory of Yahweh that was lifted up from the house. The house it was talking about was the temple building. Now, what the picture that is painted here is that when Yahweh is working with his people, he residents with them. He makes his house in their midst. The house of Yahweh, the abode of Yahweh was within the temple. That is where Yahweh, the glory of Yahweh was registered. The glory of Yahweh is the sitting place where Yahweh himself dwelt amongst his people. Now, the glory of Yahweh was surrounded with cherubims. Cherubims are elevated angels, high-class angels. When you talk of angel Gabriel, angel Michael, and so on, even Satan Lucifer was one of them before he fell. One of them out of the four. So at the end of the day, these angels' presence were with Yahweh in the land of Judea. Particularly, his presence was in Jerusalem, where in the temple, within that environment, he had his place. And we read that there was a hand that came out from within, the cherubs. And it was just trying to tell us that the angels are like human beings, like image of Yahweh. Image of Yahweh is like, he said he created us in his image. So the picture or the presentation here is just to let us know that they are not animals or something inanimate object. They are like human beings, but we cannot see them because they are spirits, including Yahweh. Yahweh is spirit. Now, why this presentation here, the glory of Yahweh departing the temple or departing Israel? Yahweh cannot inhabit in the midst of sinful people. Sin, sorry, this should be separate. Separates Yahweh from his people. From his people. This is the reason up to today why it appears as if Yahweh is not in anywhere to be found in the world. Yahweh has separated himself from humanity, but he watches over the earth he created. He watches over his people as well. He walks with them, but not as dwelling with them, not as even as before. He will be sending angels into their houses, into the, he was their leader. He was their commander-in-chief. Junior, read for me. Read any Bible that you have. Joshua chapter 5. Joshua chapter 5. That is just a picture of telling us what Yahweh, even Yeshua, because that picture is painted as if it is angel, but it is Yeshua himself who walked with them when they were in the wilderness. He was following them. He was the Lord that followed them. He was the angel that followed them. He was the pillar of fire, the pillar of cloud that followed them. Read for us Joshua chapter 5, verse 13. Verse 13. Joshua chapter 5, verse 13.
Joshua 5:13. And it came to pass when Joshua was by Jericho that he lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, there stood a man over against him with his sword drawn in his hand. And Joshua went unto him and said unto him, Art thou for us or for our adversary?
14.
And he said, Nay, but as captain of the host of Yahweh am I now come. And Joshua fell on his face to earth and did worship, and said unto him, What saith my sovereign unto his servant? 15. And the captain of Yahweh's host said unto Joshua, Loose thy shoe from off thy feet, for the place whereon thou standest is holy. And Joshua did so.
Okay. Think what happened there. Israel, shortly they entered into the land of Canaan. Yahweh, Yeshua, followed them into that land because they had a fight. They had the land to conquer. They needed help. Without Yeshua coming to, what is that? Without Yeshua coming in to help them, they may not be able to achieve the goal that was set for Joshua and Israel. Now, he came in literally, and he saw him as a man. He saw him as a man standing. And Joshua asked him, "Who are you?" He said, "I am who? The captain of host of Yahweh's army." And he has come to do what? To help them deliver themselves, deliver the land as well. Now, there is something important he mentioned to him. He said, "And the captain of Yahweh's host said unto Joshua, Loose thy shoe from off thy foot, for the place whereon thou standest is holy." And Joshua did so. Where Joshua was standing, Joshua knew that that place was holy. Before then, Joshua didn't know. Before then, Joshua didn't see anybody, let alone know how that place was. But as soon as Joshua touched that place, the angel touched that place, the man, the Bible describes him as man, he touched that place. He said, "Remove your shoes. The place you are is holy." The glory of Yahweh has taken over. The presence of Yahweh has taken over. So it's not ordinary place any longer. Because he is holy. And if he had continued to follow human beings, irrespective of their behavior, their sinful behavior, their, disobedient way of life, the whole human beings would have been wiped out, because holiness goes with him and he goes with holiness. Mm-hmm. These cherubim and seraphim you see here, their own is to make sure that they surround the entire space where the glory of Yahweh radiates or exhibits must be clean, pure, holy, and they were the fighters. Nobody there near the throne. You have to pass, those cherubims before you get into the inner. You can't even get into the inner space where now you can find where that hand was coming out. So the cherubim were there to defend. The cherubim were there to protect. The cherubim were there to help Israel live out the life that Yahweh ordains them. But unfortunately, Israelites lived with sin. So Yahweh had to separate himself from them, because he said, "I cannot go with you because of your ways, because of your sin." Now, since then, Yahweh left them for good. Bible said that Yahweh will depart from. He was warning them that he's going to depart from them. He's going to depart from them. The whole of Torah, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, was all about warning them. Warning them. Did they heed? Did they hear? Did they listen? They didn't. So their sin made Yahweh to leave them and caused them to be driven into Babylon. Already, their sister brethren had been scattered. Israelite, the 10 tribes, had been scattered all over the world before this Judah went into exile. So here we have Yahweh's warning. We must, because Yahweh, when he says Yahweh separates himself from Israel or from his people, it doesn't mean that we cannot receive him or have him or relate with him again. To whosoever that will, Yahweh still interact or relate with the person. It's now on one-on-one basis. It's no longer a national thing. It's no longer a group, something that collectively Israel knew them, and Yahweh knew them as Israel, as a nation, and fight for them in that way. It's now everybody will answer his own name until Yahshua returns. Then when he will now gather them again as a nation called Israel. Judah, Israelites, and the Gentile world that now hold to him or receive him will now bear Israel. All of them now will bear one nation called Israel. So, when will this happen? Bible says in these latter days, everything will square up again. Yahweh will turn to his people once again. So this is what chapter 10 is all about. Because when he called Ezekiel in chapter 1, in fact chapter 2 is the call of Ezekiel. Chapter 1 sets the preamble of their exiting the land to Babylon and all that. And how he asked him, eat the word, eat the Torah, eat the law. And he did, studied it, and made sure he knew in and out of what Yahweh intended him to do or he will be doing. Then after in chapter 2, he now said, I call you and I have ordained you as a prophet. And here he was. In Babylon was where Ezekiel began to say, because he was to be a priest. He was called to be a priest initially. But for Israel to continue, Yahweh is merciful. Another thing, apart from their sin, and apart from Yahweh separating himself from them, another thing we see in Yahweh, when you look at the story of Ezekiel and Israel, that is Judah, in Babylon, is the mercy of Yahweh. Mercy of Yahweh. Because if the mercy of Yahweh left completely with the glory of Yahweh, then no Israelite would have come out from Babylon. No Israelite would have come out from it. And the same thing is happening today. The truth remains, we are sinful people. We have departed from him and he walked away from us. But in one way or the other, Yahweh still show compassion. As he told Moses, said, I will be merciful to whom I will be merciful. He will be faithful to whom he will be faithful to. Where is it? Exodus chapter 34, somewhere, I think it was where he was mentioning that. When Moses said, do not leave us. Okay, if you are leaving us, I will not go with these people. Then, at the end of the day, Yahweh kill me, and what will be of use, me leaving them, these people will perish and all that. And Yahweh said, no, I will not kill you. I'm a merciful Father. Anybody that sin against me will die. The person will bear the headache by himself. I'm just trying to get the particular. It's between Exodus 33 and Exodus 34, where he was talking about his mercy. He will show mercy to whom he will show mercy. And that was let me read Exodus 32-33. And Yahweh said unto Moses, whosoever has sinned against me, him will I blot out of my book. Therefore now go, lead the people unto the place of which I have spoken unto thee. Behold, my angel shall go before thee. Nevertheless, in the day when I visit, I will visit their sin upon them. And Yahweh plagued the people because they made the calf which Aaron made. This has been the history and story of Israel between Yahweh and his people. Worshipping idol. Idol is something that has eyes cannot see, ears cannot hear, mouth cannot talk, nose cannot smell. And Yahweh is angry with his people each time they go into all that. That was a particular point where he made that statement. And that touched, when I read it, it touched me. The point I'm trying to make here is that even today, as we live our lives, even today, we should not commonize the. You see, what troubles me and what worries me up to tomorrow is how when we read these things, either that we are wondering, did it happen? Or we take it as literature, or we take it as story that happened to them and not to me, and not to us. How will it happen to us? The same warning. Do you know how many years Yahweh warned Israel? The 10 tribes of Israel. 390 days. And he told Ezekiel, each day is equal to 1 year. 390 years before he drove them away. To Judah was 40 days. A day for a year. 40 years. He warned them. They didn't hear. We have ears. We don't hear. The picture that he is presenting here is that though he has departed from us, but his mercy is still around us. That when we pray, his mercy results to Yahweh calling us. In these last days, call them saints. Listen, nobody today and tomorrow, nobody will make it into the kingdom if Yahweh will not, by his mercy, call an individual. Nobody. John chapter 6. John chapter 6. Let's look at John chapter 6, verse chapter 6. Should not be 6, that should be 8 perhaps. Nobody can come to him except he calls him. Where is it in John chapter 8? Or chapter 6? Should be chapter 6. Because I know somewhere in 65. Let's see 65. All right, 64 first. No man, John chapter 6, 64. 44. John chapter 6, 44. No man can come to me, that is to Yeshua. No man can come to Yeshua except the Father, Yahweh, which has sent me, draw him, that is, call him, and I will raise him up at the last day. If you are fortunate enough in these latter days and you are preached concerning, or you are told concerning these latter days events, you are told about the gospel of the kingdom, you are declared, the name of Yahweh, the counsel of Yahweh is declared to you, you are considered privileged and opportune to turn to him and run for your dear life. Receive the call. Verse 65. And he said, therefore said I unto you, that no man can come unto me except it were given unto him from my Father. Did you hear that? In those two statements, or in those two verses, he is saying, nobody will worship Yahweh. Nobody will make it into the kingdom except the Father calls the person. Because let's face the fact, the people Israel he called rejected him. Now they were thrown into the Gentile world. Why did he scatter them? If you look at it today, it will be as if the agreement he had with Israel is broken. Because Israel, in the race sense, Israel broke the agreement, the covenant. So Israel are without today, so to speak, Yahweh. But Yahweh is there. His love for Israel is there. Now he left a clause, or he left a powerful covenant statement whosoever that believes in Yeshua will be saved. So we have that to come through Yeshua when he called us, because that's what Yeshua was telling us in that John chapter 6 verse 44. When we now believe in Yeshua, that's when we are called, Yahweh hand over to the Son Yeshua, and Yeshua now prepares us both in baptism and in furnishing us with all the Spirit, the Holy Spirit, to get us prepared for the kingdom. So anybody that is called, that rejects the call, will be swept away finally from the surface of the earth. Will be swept away. This is no question of I am an Israelite. There is nothing like I'm an Israelite now. That is the picture Ezekiel is trying to paint here by telling us that Yahweh has left them. The people he called, he's left them. Now he gave, by his mercy, Yeshua came. Now, it is, if you want to get the visa to enter into the kingdom, do you want to have the passport to enter into the kingdom? The passport and visa is in the hand of Yeshua. Go in. Immerse yourself in his name. You have registered yourself. Your name is not documented. To whatever document you have, passport, visa. Now you have it. Now you do the nitty-gritties, all the assignments that are required, because it must be by works. And he said he's going to reward us based by our works. Anybody that tells you that it's not by works, faith, fine, grace, fine, but you must do the work. What is the work? Keep the covenant. Do them. Do what he asks you to do within the covenant. What is the content of the covenant? The summary is the 10 Commandments. The summary is the 10 Commandments. Number 1, know who you worship, Yahweh. Say, I am Yahweh that brought you out of the land of Egypt, the land of captivity. You shall not serve any other God. Any other God beside him. No other God. 2, do not do image. Now this, what we are talking about tonight is about image. That is Ezekiel chapter 9. Image. Chapter 8 and chapter 9. Image. Don't do any image. Don't bow to image or for any nature, for any type. Don't. Number 3. This is the content of the 10 Commandments, which is the summary of the what is called the law. Is the summary of the law. Number 3. Do not take his name. What? In vain. Do not take. What is vain? Taking his name in vain. What does it mean? Do not kill his name, cancel his name, destroy his name, remove his name, replace his name, change his name. Don't do that. Do not profane his name. Do not blaspheme his name. If you do that, you are fallen victim of the third covenant. The fourth covenant, what is it saying? Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. This is what is called the summary of the law. Summary of the law, which is the Torah, the book of instruction, which is Genesis to Deuteronomy. That is what it is. Because when he gave Moses the Torah, that is Genesis to Deuteronomy, now he did the tablets, the 2 tablets, and inscribed the 10 Commandments. Now, this 10 Commandments is the summary. It must be in our memory. It's like the glass through which we see ourselves. When he says, by their fruits we shall know them, if you have them inside you and they have become the fruits inside you, when you see anybody, it will tell you who that person is. It will reveal the fruit in that person. That is what the 10 Commandments is doing for you. Now the 5th one is honor your father and your mother. He is our number 1 father and our mother, Yahweh. Then your physical father and mother, honor them. Because he said, if you don't, you will die the death. It is instructive. Do you know that they removed you died the death? The Bible writers, King James and all the other. But Yeshua brought it in Matthew chapter 15. They brought it in. And somewhere they left it off in Leviticus and the Exodus because it was written there. But when the Ten Commandments, when these people were organizing the Ten Commandments and was read, they removed that aspect because they know they had already fallen foul of it. Now, the sixth one, you shall not kill. Seventh, you shall not commit adultery. Eighth, you shall not steal. You shall not lie. You shall not tell lies. Falsehood. Remove it from you if you must enter the kingdom. The tenth, do not covet. These make up what is called the Ten Commandments, and they are called to our faith. And in Christianity, they will tell you, it is cancelled, it is removed, it is nailed to the tree, it is nailed to the cross, it is nailed to whatever, wherever, out to the mountain. And they say, by grace, by faith, we will enter the kingdom. No way. Because this is mercy that is granted to us via Yeshua. Yeah, if he didn't give us Yeshua to call us back, to begin to train us, and in fact, why do we say that Yeshua is the mediator of the new covenant? The covenant is resting upon the shoulder. You are the seed. Yeshua is the seed. Because the covenant was made between Yahweh and Abraham. I will give you land, I will give you seed. And by the seed, the covenant will rest upon. In fact, Yeshua is coming to make another covenant when he gathers Israel again, what is called covenant of peace. Because Israelites, this one is running to the left, this one is running to the left, right? This one is running to the moon, this one is running to the, Now he's going to gather them, including the Gentiles that have agreed to, be grafted into the umbrella of Israel. So they are going to be one as a nation, as one people. So that will be under what? Under a new covenant again when he returns. And in that time also, his word, he's saying, should be registered in our heart well by the power of the Holy Spirit, that be completely, as the angels are, they don't carry the Bible going everywhere they go. The word is in their heart. If the angels have law, which is in their heart, which is registered in them, they live by it, why can't we? Who are we? Are we better or greater than the angels? Why can't we do what he asked us to do? They said obedience is the first command in heaven. You must. Obedience is the number one thing. You must keep to what he says in heaven, and they all do that. Because his commandment, his law is good, is just, is holy, is righteous. And that is why they follow and do it. That is what the Bible told us. The law is excellent. Nothing to be removed from it and nothing to be, added to it. It is his law. He understands human beings beyond human beings, whatever the human beings can think about themselves. They don't know anything about themselves. We don't know the terrain we operate. We don't know even who is chasing us. We don't know. He knows. And he has brought us into this knowledge through his law, through his word. That if you follow it, Moses said by the word of Yahweh, that anyone that will abide by the law shall live by it. And through that you possess your righteousness. Now he said, okay, it's not just knowing the law, receiving the law, you receive your righteousness. You must know Yeshua, because everything is resident inside Yeshua. Do you know what that means? Yeshua is the law. Yeshua is the Torah. Yeshua is the word of Yahweh, which we are talking about, the Ten Commandments. Everything is inside Yahweh. So all you need now is to go to Yeshua, be obedient. If you love me, do what? Keep my commandments. That is what Yeshua said. That's the only way you can enter. Without that, you can't enter. Without that, you are just like anything. Wasted anything in this world, the person will be a waste. The person will just ordinary dust. Say dust you are, dust you go back to. He said, no, when Adam and Eve sinned, he told them who they are dust. They go back to dust. Go back to dust in the sense that they are not hearing his word, they are not believing, they are not doing his word. That is why they will go back to the dust. But if they obey, keep his word, because he has given that opportunity by virtue of his mercy. I will have mercy unto whom I will have mercy. Why? Because they are in obedience, they're obeying him. So that is chapter 10, chapter 11. Can we look at that quickly? Junior, read for me chapter 11. Chapter 11.
Ezekiel 11. Moreover, the Spirit lifted me up and brought me unto the east gate of Yahweh's house, which looketh eastward. And behold, at the door of the gates 25 men, among whom I saw Jazianiah, the son of Azur, and Philetia, the son of Benahiah, prince of the people. Then said he unto me, Son of man, these are the men that devise mischief and give wicked counsel in this city, which say, It is not near, let us build houses. This city is the cauldron, and we be the flesh. Therefore prophesy against them, prophecy, O son of man. And the Spirit of Yahweh fell upon me, and said unto me, Speak. Thus saith Yahweh, Thus have ye said, O house of Israel, for I know the things that come into your mind, every one of them. Ye have multiplied your slain in this city, and ye have filled the streets thereof with the slain. Therefore thus said my sovereign Yahweh, Your slain, whom ye have led in the midst of it, they are the flesh, and this city is the cauldron. But I will bring you forth out of the midst of it. Ye have feared the sword, and I will bring a sword upon you, said my sovereign Yahweh. And I will bring you out of the midst thereof, and deliver you into the hands of strangers, and will execute judgment among you. 10. Ye shall fall by the sword. I will judge you in the border of Israel, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh. 11. This city shall not be your cauldron, neither shall ye be the flesh in the midst thereof. But I will judge you in the border of Israel, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh. For ye have not walked in my statutes, neither executed my judgments, but ye have done after the manners of the heathen that are around about you. 13. And it came to pass, when I prophesied, that Philetia, the son of Benahiah, died. Then fell I down upon my face, and cried with a loud voice, and said, Ha, my sovereign Yahweh, wilt thou make a full end of the remnant of Israel? Again the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, thy brethren, even thy brethren, the men of thy kindred, and all the house of Israel, holy are they unto whom the inhabitants of Jerusalem have said, Get ye far from Yahweh, unto us is this land given in possession. 16. Therefore say, Thus saith my sovereign Yahweh, although I have cast them off far off among the heathen, and although I have scattered them among the countries, yet will I be to them as a little sanctuary in the countries where they shall come. 17. Therefore say, Thus saith my sovereign Yahweh, I will even gather you from the people, and assemble you out of the countries where ye have scattered, and I will give you the land of Israel. 18. And they said and they shall come thither, and they shall take away all the detestable things thereof, and all the abominations thereof from thence. 19. And I will give them one heart, and will put a new spirit within you, and I will take the stony heart out of thy flesh, and give them and give them an heart of flesh, that they may walk in thy statutes and keep my ordinance and do them, and they shall be my people, and I will be their father. But as far as for them whose hearts walketh after the heart of their detestable things and their abomination, I will recompense their way upon their own head, saith my sovereign Yahweh. Then did the cherubim lift up their wings, and the wheels beside them, and the glory of Yahweh of Israel was over them above. And the glory of Yahweh went up from the midst of the city, and stood upon the mountain which is on the east side of the city. Afterwards the Spirit took me up, and brought me in a vision by the Spirit of Yahweh into Chaldea, to them of the captivity. So the vision that I had seen went up from me. 25. Then I spoke unto them of the captivity, all the things that Yahweh had shewed me.
Hallelujah. Now, this is the end. This chapter 11 ends the separation of Yahweh from his people. It ends the glory that was covering Jerusalem, particularly the temple, completely now left. This was final vision of Ezekiel concerning Yahweh holding forth for his people. It's a very sad story. Very, very sad. But Yahweh did not leave without telling Israel, Judah, though they be stiff-necked people, they be wicked against him. Though there are some false prophets among them, false teachers, false leaders, Jazaniah, son of Azor, Pelatiah, son of Benaiah, that led his people astray. He said to them, he said, then said he unto me, Son of man, these are the men that devise mischief and give wicked counsel in this city. As we have, these are the heads, not that it's only the number that are wicked, who deceive people, who tell people, why do you worship Yahweh? Why do you do this or why do you do that? But these people, they were worshiping in the temple to the point that they were telling this, look, okay, this Yahweh that you see is all over Israel. He can never depart from you. Because Yahweh has been announcing he's going to depart. What was this people saying to them? Even your sin. Yahweh is so merciful that even your sin he overlooks. Sin doesn't hurt Yahweh. Sin is nothing. In fact, between these men and the children of Judah, Yahweh cannot hurt them. Yahweh doesn't hurt a fly. Yahweh cannot rebuke you. So why would somebody come and preach to you that the land will be desolate, that Yahweh will overthrow the land with the Chaldeans, with the Babylonians? So they were deceiving the people. They were not allowing the people to hear the warnings of Yahweh. That is exactly what is happening today. Where do you find that? Amongst us, even within the Sabbatarians. If the Gentile Christian churches, the worst, because they are the people that are saying, even by grace, don't mind anybody preaching anything. We are not to obey the law again. We are not even the commandments. In fact, I saw YouTube where somebody did a exposition that the Ten Commandments is not for the Christians. Oh. Hey, when I look at all these things, I shake my head. These are pastors, these are GOs, these are all the whole GOs in the Christianity. This is what they preach. Don't look at the law. Don't look at the Torah. Don't look at the commandments. Are we wondering? Is it not why they worship on Sunday? Is it not why they have all different Baals and Baalims in their altar? How can somebody say he's a man of God, then he sits in a particular seat? When he stands up, people rush that seat and be touching it and be kissing it. So their sickness will vanish. Their trouble will go. Seat become idle. The seat somebody sat and stood up and walked away. Assumes the position of power. Is it not idle? Evil. G.O. Adeboye, he does that. Oyedepo, they do that. And so many of them. Somebody talk about TB Joshua. I mean, that one is synagogue of Satan. Is it not synagogue, the name of his church? So, what we are saying here is, Yahweh says, two things. Judgment continues or punishment. Judgment. How we carry out the judgment. How we carry out the punishment. Yahweh says, the punishment has to be carried out. Many will die. Now he said, but if you look at 16 to 25, this is from verses 1 to 15. Verses 1 to 15. Punishment will be carried out, will be meted out. 16 to 25, he said, I will show mercy to the remnant in the exile. I will show mercy. Though they be taken away, though they be hurt, so though they are small in number, I will deliver that number. Said, therefore say, this thus says my sovereign Yahweh, although I have cast them far off among the hidden, and although I have scattered them among the countries, not only Judah now, including the Israelites that were away already, because this prophecy cut across the 12 tribes of Israel, wherever they were scattered. Yet will I be to them as a little sanctuary in the countries where they shall come. The countries, it's not one country now, because Babylon was one country. You can hear Yahweh say countries. That means it cut across Judah and Israel, wherever they are scattered. So from whatever country in this world, because it said through the four corners of the world, he will deliver them in this latter day. So this prophecy 16 here is touching the latter days, which we are into. So from the countries where they are going to, because they are not going to be many, it's going to cut off so many. So there will be deliverance. Deliverance will come. Deliverance or salvation, if you like. Salvation will come. That verse 16. Deliverance or salvation will come. But they will not be many. Then Yahweh will be their sanctuary. Yahweh will return back to them again. Yahweh, they have missed the sanctuary, the temple they have mixed. Yahweh will be the temple where they will go into, where they will reside, and they will hold to Yahweh again, and Yahweh will hold them to them again. Verse 18, and they shall come neither, and they shall take away all the detestable things thereof, and all the abominations thereof from thence. What is separating us mainly is abomination of the image of jealousy. Abomination. Abomination or the image of jealousy. Say, I'm a jealous Yahweh. So do nothing with either. Do nothing with either. There are different forms of idols. Different form of art. If you are self-centered person, you are dealing with idol. You become the idol of yourself. Self-centered person. Self-centered person is idol. You become image of jealousy that Yahweh hates. Yahweh will hate the person. If you are in love with the world, all forms of worldly thing, you are in love, which is pure sin. Bible calls it pure sin. Love of the world. It's not only when somebody put wood and stone and bow to Satan. Love of the world is idol. Love of the world, that could include money. Money. Somebody will say, talk of money too much. Yes, because it's a murderer, it's a killer. Number one. If you're in love, how is money become the centerpiece of everything in human life that make him love money? When you so pursue money to the point that things of Yahweh is not priority, because it says, seek ye first the kingdom of Yahweh and his righteousness, then all other things will be added. So if you begin to add all other things, which including possession of this thing and other possessiveness of the worldly thing, it becomes giving yourself to the idol of mammon. It's dangerous. And so many other things. You talk about the stone and wood, which is number one. Said Israel will worship stone and wood wherever they go. Image of stone and wood, is it not Jesus? Which is in St. Peter Basilica in Rome. Stone and wood, the cross, the wooden thing, even the stone, they make the cross as well. Or they make the image of the white man Jesus. All those are the things that say in the latter days they will worship new God. The God that come newly. That is the image of wood and stone. I have preached on this several times. It's in most of our books. Read them up. Understand what that place is talking about. So many things can take you away from Yahweh. When you love something else, yourself, your human being, even wife or husband, beyond Yahweh, I mean, that positions you to idol. We must be very careful. And that's why they were doing what? Slaughtering, killing, doing all manner of things. Because when somebody becomes self-centered, every other human being becomes irrelevant. You and you alone is what matters. Yahweh doesn't matter. Your fellow human being doesn't matter. Whatever you like, you do because maybe you have money, you have things of the world going for you. That is a problem. Yahweh hates detestable. All these things are called detestable things. Detestable. So I will recompense their way upon their own heads, says my sovereign Yahweh. Remember, this prophecy is about these latter days as well. It's a typological prophecy. Then did the cherubim lift their wings and the wheels beside them, and the glory of Yahweh of Israel was over them above. The cherubim, the wheel that took them, everything went, and Yahweh left his people. The glory of Yahweh left Israel. Up to today. Up to today. But we bless Yahweh that along the line in time of Yahweh's calendar, Yeshua, he has to send in Yeshua, the word. The word became flesh, came and dwelt with us. But did they let go? They killed him. We don't want you, we don't need you. We need another. That's what they were telling themselves. And Yeshua said, yes, another will come in his own name. So I came in my Father's name, you did not receive him. If another will come in his own name, you will receive. You know what happened? John chapter 5, verse 43. Another. I usually call it another. That is what Bible puts there. Another. You read another there. Another will come in his own name. That is what is happening today. They said the Messiah that came, and Yeshua warned in Matthew 24 that Messiah, he will come to bear the name Messiah. Messiah. He will come to assume the title of the true Messiah. And when he comes, the whole world will bow to him. The whole world will bow to him. All right. We take another chapter. So, chapter 11 showcases the departing of the the glory, final departure of glory of Yahweh from Jerusalem, from the temple, and Israel is going to get it. They must surely be punished. Majority of them is going to crash. He's going to wipe them out. The remnant he will save. And in the later days, he will come for deliverance. And only those that hold to his word will be saved. But to those, even in the later days, who still go with detestable things, who still center themselves in the Baal worship and all manner of deviating from his counsel, from his commandments, they will perish. They will perish. Ezekiel chapter 12. Let's look at what Ezekiel chapter 12 offers us, or teach there. Ezekiel 12. The word of Yahweh also came unto me, saying, Son of man, thou dwellest in the midst of a rebellious house, which have eyes to see, and see not. They have ears to hear, and hear not. For they are rebellious house. Did you hear that? Read for us Mark chapter 8, verse 18. This is exactly what is happening today. Rebellious house. We're looking at the rebellious house here. Talk from morning till night. They have eyes to see when what Yahweh is talking. They have ears. And they have what again? They have eyes, they have ears. They have eyes, ears, heart. They have heart. Matthew and Mark also mentioned that. They don't perceive. It helps them for perception, their heart, their mind. It helps them for perception. But nothing happens. Read for us that Mark chapter 8, verse 18.
Mark 8:18. Having eyes, see ye not, and having ears, hear ye not, and do ye not remember? When I broke the 5 loaves among 5,000, how many baskets full of fragments took ye up? They say unto him, 12. Continue.
That's all right. He was talking to the 12 here, the 12 disciples, that his disciples, they have eyes, they were not seeing. They have ears, they were not hearing. They have hearts, they were not perceiving. We are men. We are meant to be pitied. In fact, we are to be pitied. Even those that have eyes, even those that have ears. He was talking to the disciples. At the time Yeshua was dealing or working or, doing the job work of the Father with the disciples, many of them were still asleep. And that's why he told them it's expedient that I return back to the Father, because if I leave you as you are to continue this work, before I turn my back, you mess it up. You will all stray. You will all be swept away. You won't go far. That Yahweh has to leave his spirit again in the earth to continue this work. Yet even with the spirit of Yahweh, even with the Holy Spirit, Ruach HaKodesh, even with the Ruach HaKodesh is the Holy Spirit. Even with him present in this earth today, even with him, the same eyes, the same ears, the same hearts are not helping them. They have it, it's given to them, but they are not applying it for any help for them to escape. What will Yahweh do? It's all the whole thing he will do with the fathers. Prophets came, seers came, the teachers came, the evangelists came, disciples came, Yeshua personally came, rest disciples and apostles and all prophets that follow, everyone that mattered to do this work. Holy Spirit finally took over. What else will he do? Can somebody answer? To rescue man, to deliver man. Somebody will be looking at you. You are talking to him. You are talking to him. You are talking to him. the person is thinking something else. Very strange. What is the cause? Even amongst us. Even amongst us. This thing is like football. Throw khaki ball in the field. People kick it left, right, left, right, left, right. 90 minutes will be, referee will blow the whistle. Everybody goes his home. At the end of the day, what do you achieve? What type of pleasure? Nothing. Vanity upon vanity, vanity. It's like human beings are chasing vanity, 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 vanity. Even the word they hear becomes vanity in their ears. It doesn't make any sense to them. We'll continue. While we pray that Yahweh. But he says, I will have mercy on those that will have mercy. But they are obedient. They remain obedient. They remain obedient to him. Therefore, thou son of man, prepare thee stuff for removing, and remove by day in their sight, and thou shalt remove from thy place to another place in their sight. It may be they will consider, though they be a rebellious house. Son of man, get ready to depart from them. When you stay away, maybe they look for you, maybe they'll be touched, maybe somehow. When they didn't see you. Yahweh did everything. He played every play stuff to make sure at the end of the day they understand, but nothing was forthcoming. They were not getting it. Then shalt thou bring forth thy stuff by day in their sight, as stuff by removing, and thou shalt go forth at evening in their sight, as they that go forth into captivity. Dig thou through the wall in their sight, and carry out thereby. Yahweh want to tell him to do some other physical, imagery kind of painting something. If they will understand, do it in artistic form, whether it will attract them. In their sight shalt thou bear it upon thy shoulders, and carry it forth in the twilight. Thou shalt cover thy face, that thou see not the ground, for I have set thee for a sign unto the house of Israel. And I did so as I was commanded. I brought forth my stuff by day, as stuff for captivity, and in the evening I digged through the wall with my hand. I brought it forth in the twilight, and I bear it upon my shoulder in their sight. You know what Yahweh is talking about here? Yahweh is saying to Ezekiel, carry your things. Now, move like a blind man. Move towards the wall as if you're not seeing. Dig the wall. Now, what that means is that there will be something that will cause them to flee. It is action of somebody who is on the run, who is being pursued, but he doesn't know where he's running to. But see a little hole through the wall, escape from there. Where are you running to? Well, only Yahweh will tell. So Yahweh is saying by that action, they will know that there is a siege. They will know that there is trouble. They will know that there is war. They will know that their life is at stake. Yahweh in this particular situation was entreating them. This is still at the time when Yahweh wanted to bring down Jerusalem, because there were still people there. After Ezekiel had departed, and some other people, the first stage, the second stage, this is the final stage before the temple fell, before Judea failed, the tribe of Judah failed. So before the last group of people, the third set of people will go down. So demonstrate this. Because if they had done well, that latter group would have remained. But they were not. Yahweh removed them stage by stage, stage by stage. In each stage, he watched them to see if they will do the right thing. If they will do the right thing. And I did So as I was commanded, I brought forth my stuff by day. And in the morning came the word of Yahweh unto me, saying, Son of man, has not the house of Israel, the rebellious house, said unto thee, what doest thou? Say thou unto them, Thus says my sovereign Yahweh, this burden concerneth the prince in Jerusalem, and all the house of Israel that are among them. Say, I am your sign, like as I have done, so shall it be done unto them. They shall remove and go into captivity, and the prince that is among them shall bear upon his shoulder in the twilight, and shall go forth. They shall dig through the wall to carry out thereby. He shall cover his face, that he see not the ground with his eyes. My net also will I spread upon him, and he shall be taken in my snare, and I shall be taken in my snare, and I will bring him to Babylon, to the land of the Chaldeans, yet shall he not see it, though he shall die there. Verse 14, and I will scatter towards every wind all that are about him to help him, and all his bands, and I will draw out the sword after them, and they shall know that I am Yahweh, when I shall scatter them among the nations, and disperse them in the countries. But I will leave a few men of them from the sword, from the famine, and from the pestilence, that they may declare all their abominations among the heathen, whither they come, and they shall know that I am Yahweh. Moreover, the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, Son of man, eat thy bread with quaking, and drink thy water with trembling and with carefulness. And say unto the people of the land, Thus says my sovereign, Yahweh of the inhabitants of Jerusalem and of the lands of Israel, they shall eat their bread with carefulness, and drink their water with astonishment, that her land may be desolate from all that is therein, because of the violence of all them that dwell therein. And the cities that are inhabited shall be laid waste, and the land shall be desolate, and they shall know that I am Yahweh. And the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, what is that proverb that ye have in the land of Israel, saying, The days are prolonged, and every vision falleth? Tell them, therefore, Thus says my sovereign Yahweh, I will make this proverb to cease, and they shall no more use it as a proverb in Israel. But say unto them, The days are at hand, and the effect of every vision. For there shall be no more any vain vision, nor flattering divination within the house of Israel. For I am Yahweh, I will speak, and the word that I shall speak shall come to pass. It shall be no more prolonged. For in your days, O rebellious house, will I say the word, and will perform it, says my sovereign Yahweh. Again, the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, Son of man, behold, they of the house of Israel say, the vision that he seeth is for many days to come, and he prophesieth of the times that are far off. Therefore, say unto them, Thus says my sovereign Yahweh, there shall none of my words be prolonged any more, but the word which I have spoken shall be done, says my sovereign Yahweh. The urgency of his word to carry out the final onslaught in the land of Judah, in Jerusalem, to clear the remnant who were not listening. They were still behaving the way they were behaving. Yahweh has done everything he could do to get these people sit on their feet, to get these people obey him, to get these people respect him, to get these people hear his word. The more he called them, the more they chase shadows, the more they follow the idols of this world, the wealth of this world, the more there was bloodletting. Thou shalt not kill. I have recalled what the 10 Commandments is. All of those 10 Commandments, they were breaking them at will. What will Yahweh do? At the end of the day, he will sack all of them. He said his word will not, none of his word will fall on the ground. He will accomplish what he has said he will do. And how will he do it? Verse 16, he said, but I will leave a few men of them from the sword, from the famine, and from the pestilence, that they may declare all their abominations among the heathen, whither they come, and they shall know that I am Yahweh. So the number that is going to escape is going to be few, and they will go into the Gentile world. He will scatter them into the hidden world. And he did. He did what he said he will do. That those remnants, they will not find bread. There will be famine in the land. They will find little water to drink. No matter how careful they are, they will drink in trembling. They will eat in fear. Whatever that remaineth, because many will die impoverished. Many will die of hunger. Many will be killed by sword. The remnant will be scattered, so that they, when they get into the Gentile world, they will now worship idol, even far greater than how they were worshiping before. Is it not what is happening today? Nearly the whole of Israelites are worshiping idols today in the foreign land. But Yahweh says, what he has spoken, he will bring to pass. He will not allow it to prolong anymore. In these latter days, people are thinking, this latter days, when will the latter days be? When will the latter days come? We're already in it. We're already in it. The final of finals. When the storm will hit the ground and will not stop until Yeshua comes, it's about to roll in. Then what are you doing about it? What are you doing about it? Now, let's look at the false prophet, then we'll be drawing close for today in this chapter 13. Chapter 13. I've been talking about this chapter 13, Ezekiel chapter 13. We are already in the Gentile world. Chapter 13 is talking about who? About Israel, the entirety of Israel, who are now in the Gentile world. From Israel, the land where they are, down to the Gentile world. It's picturing them. Now is the attitude of the false prophets. Here we see the false prophets. False prophets and false leaders, men and women, what they are going to do to their brothers, to the entire Israel, what is going to befall Israel in these latter days. What is it that is going to befall Israel? What is it? Let's just pick them, see how much we can decode on that, on this chapter 13. And the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, Son of man, prophesy against the prophets of Israel that prophesy, and say thou unto them that prophesy out of their own hearts, hear ye the word of Yahweh. Thus says my sovereign Yahweh, woe unto the foolish prophets that follow their own spirit and have seen nothing. False prophets, they follow their own spirit. So when these people are speaking, who did they hear from? Who speak to them? Is it Yahweh? What happened to them? The false prophets see nothing. They don't see anything. They see nothing. O house of Israel, O Israel, Thy prophets are like the foxes in the deserts. Ye have not gone up into the gaps, neither made up the hedge for the house of Israel to stand in the battle in the day of Yahweh. They have seen vanity and lying divination. What did they see? Vanity. So they see nothing. Vanity and lying divination. First of all, I said they see nothing. Then said vanity and lying divination. Saying Yahweh says. They say Yahweh says. When Yahweh did not say. And Yahweh had not sent them. And they have made others to hope that they would confirm the word. They push people to believe what they are saying that Yahweh said. They put lies in their mouth and tell the people that this is what Yahweh said, making them to believe that lie. Huge evil. Lies. Projection of lies. Of lies. In the name of Yahweh. Lies today is reigning on earth, enveloping the earth in the name of Yahweh. Have you not seen a vain vision? Again, talk about vanity. And have you not spoken a lying divination? Whereas ye say, Yahweh said it, albeit I have not spoken. What is happening today is a replication of Ezekiel chapter 13. Yahweh is saying exactly what is happening today. All these false teachers, false prophets, false evangelists, they are saying, thus says Yahweh, when Yahweh never spoke. They want to put lies in the heart of people to make them believe that Yahweh is the one saying that, to convince them. And people then, they know how to believe lies, particularly when it appears to come from the so-called man of God. Well, what is the man of God? They believe lies from the so-called teachers that are with them. Therefore says the sovereign Yahweh, because ye have spoken vanity and seen lies, they spoke vanity. These people speak vanity and lies. These are keywords that Yahweh is revealing here. What is going on? Therefore, behold, I am against you, says my sovereign Yahweh. So all these false prophets, they are in trouble in the hands of Yahweh. They are in trouble. Yahweh says that is against them. And my hand shall be upon the prophets that see vanity and that divine lies. They shall not be in the assembly of people. False teachers, pastors, call them evangelists, GOs, they'll be cut off. Cut off from Yahweh. That is assembly of the people. They'll be cut off from Yahweh. Neither shall they be written in the writing of the house of Israel. Their names will be expunged from the book of life. Neither shall they either enter into the land of Israel, and ye shall know that I am the sovereign Yahweh. They shall be cut off. No kingdom or land. If you don't use the word land, you use the kingdom. because it's the land. He's talking about when he will be coming back. What Yahweh is saying is that in these latter days when he's coming back, all these false teachers, pastors, as whatever, that have been deceiving people, making people to believe that it's Yahweh that is saying this thing you are hearing, whereas they are clearly lying in broad daylight against the people. Then Yahweh says those people are completely cut off from him and they will not go back to the land. Though they may be Israelites, though they may be Judah, though they may be Gentiles that call themselves believers, they will never smell the land. That is huge, huge. Why are we laboring? What are we laboring for? What are we striving to get? Is it the whole earth, the whole money? No way. Let them get everything. When flood comes, flood sweep all those things away. Earthquake shake a little, those things will disappear. So what are we laboring? What are we laboring? Verse 10. Because they have seduced my people. That is their work. To seduce the people of Yahweh. Duties of false teachers is to do what? Seduce people of Yahweh. That is their occupation, to seduce people of Yahweh. All right. Now, so these people of Yahweh saying, peace, and there was no peace. And one built up a wall, and lo, others daubed it with untempered mortar. Say unto them, which daub it with untempered mortar, that it shall fall. However they paint their lies, however they build their skyscraper as with falsehood, in whatever they are doing, organizing, all in the name of Yahweh, that Yahweh does say, that Yahweh sent them, everything will come to naught. Is it temple they built? Is it wall they built? Is it auditorium they built? Is it just they acquire? Is it helicopter they get? Is it ship they acquire? Everything they have amassed, all in the name of lie, speaking lie against Yahweh in order to seduce the people, to gain everything themselves, everything will be swept away. There shall be an overflowing shower. Did you hear that? Overflowing. Storm shall come. And ye, O great hailstones shall fall, and a stormy wind shall rend it. Brethren, what is coming in this world? Great storm. Call all those things that are there. Great storm. Great storm is coming. Great storm is coming. Who has ears? Let him open it wide. Lo, when the wall is fallen, shall it not be said unto you, where is the daubing? Wherewith ye have daubed it? Whatever they have done, it's like, but it's just decorating all that is decorating today, decorating all the lies and all the embellishing them and putting them together and telling people falling. When they will all collapse, they will collapse upon him and all that put it together, because they have not spoken in accordance to the rules and regulations of Yahweh of heaven. Therefore, thus says my sovereign Yahweh, I will even rend it with a stormy wind in my fury, and there shall be an overflowing shower in my anger, and great hailstones in my fury to consume it. So will I break down the wall that ye have daubed with untempered mortar, and bring it down to the ground, so that the foundation thereof shall be discovered, and it shall fall, and ye shall be consumed in the midst thereof, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh. Thus will I accomplish my wrath upon the wall, and upon them that have daubed it with untempered mortar, and will say unto you, the wall is no more, neither they that daubed it. Yahweh is saying, I'm going to do clearance. All these false, fake, wicked, evil, and the rebellious pastors, rebellious teachers, rebellious false prophets of Israel, you are going to get it. Get it hot. You and all that you have designed, all you have packaged, are going to disappear. Yahweh is making a promise, and he will not fail. To it, the prophets of Israel which prophesy concerning Jerusalem, and which see visions of peace for her, and there is no peace, says my sovereign Yahweh. These are the people that at the end of the day, they promise it is all right, it is well with you. When somebody is committing wickedness, evil against Yahweh, when somebody is worshiping idol, and you fellow that says you worship Yahweh, you go and bless the person, you go and pray for the person. Do you know that it's even a problem? It's a difficult thing for somebody who is willfully going against the will of Yahweh, and you are praying for that person. Yeah, it's difficult to. People may not believe it, but this is what the Bible is saying. Because all they are saying to the person, don't worry, you're okay, Yahweh will hear you. Yahweh said, I'm not hearing this person. Tell the person his problem. The problem of the person is that the person has gone away from Yahweh. The person has taken his own way. The person has, put up the image of jealousy, which Yahweh hates. And you are now bringing the person to Yahweh and saying, Yahweh bless him. Oh, it's well with the person. And you are encouraging the person that everything is all right. Yahweh said, he will kill the person doing that. Because you are telling the person will have peace, or the person will receive the peace of Yahweh when the person is in treacherous rebellion, wicked, evil stance. Yahweh says he's going to deal with the person doing that. 17. Likewise, thou son of man, set thy face against the daughters of thy people. Men who are doing their own, be them false prophet, be them false teachers, be them false whatever, they do their own, carry the people away, and the people are swept. He said, even the women are doing this. Look at the women leaders all over the world, those that call themselves whatever name. Likewise, thou son of man, set thy face against the daughters of thy people, which prophesy out of their own heart, and prophesy thou against them. Yahweh says, as they are decreeing evil, decree against them. From today we'll be praying prayers. Those prayers will work. All the false men, false women who are after the children of Yahweh, Yahweh will consume them. Their wickedness will not continue. Including the coronavirus, they are flying up and down. It will not work for them. Yahweh will overthrow them. God said, you prophet, don't look at their face. Prophesy against them. Against them. Yahweh gave the command. So whatever you open your mouth to decrease prophecy or against them, it will stamp upon their forehead. And they will go. Because Yahweh don't want them. And say thus, says my sovereign Yahweh, woe to the women that sew pillow to all armholes, and the make kerchiefs, that is veils, upon the head of every creature to hunt souls. This coronavirus veil, which they call them face mask or whatever, that posits that. Will ye hunt the souls of my people, and will ye save the souls alive that come unto you? They have marked out those that they will save. Because in all that they are doing, they are discriminating. They are discriminating. And that's why I say, what they have done is dividing the world. Those that will live and those that will die. Have they not been saying it even over the YouTube? Say, get Africans and let them be consumed so that they can take their natural resources. That's what we are hearing in recent time. Even over YouTube, we read, we see them, we listen to them. And they say these people are useless. They are not fit to live. Kill them and let's take their resources. So this is what they are guaranteeing against the people of Yahweh. And Yahweh said, prophets, prophesy against them. And will ye pollute me among my people for handfuls of barley and for pieces of bread, to slay the souls that should not die, and to save the souls alive that should not live, by their lying to my people that hear your lies? They pump lies, and at the end of the day, they said, okay, don't worry, we guarantee you have food, we give you 80%, or we give you whatever. Don't worry, even if you are not working, everything is smooth sailing. And they are there injecting evil in the society, in the populations, and because they have target of those who they want to consume, who they want to wipe away. They always say they do that with lies, false prophets, deceive by their lying tongues. Lies is the name of the game. Throw lies, use wisdom, apply it left, right, then they will believe you. If they believe it, they are gone. We get them. Wherefore thus says my sovereign Yahweh, behold, I am against their pillows, wherewith ye they hunt the souls that make them fly, and I will tear them from their arms, and will let the souls go, even the souls that ye hunt to make them fly. Your kerchiefs also will I tear, and deliver my people out of your hand, and they shall be no more in your hand to be hunted, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh, because with lies ye have made the heart of the righteous sad, whom I have not made sad, and strengthened the hands of the wicked, that he should not return from his wicked way, by promising him life. Therefore ye shall see no more vanity, nor divine divination, for I will deliver my people out of your hand, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh. Lies, divining, divination, and what they're doing is to blindfold people of Yahweh to slaughter. Yahweh will deliver. His people to live. Yahweh will deliver his people to live. But they must obey him. They must keep to his way. In whatever trouble that is coming against the world today, part of it is the false or the liars. Liars are going to key in these latter days. They will use media, they will use their kings, they will use their rulers, they will use their globalists, and they will unleash mayhem. Then whatever they can manufacture, they pass it to people, because lies is the end game. With lies, people believe all the error, all the whatever wickedness, evil that they pump out. Yahweh says his people are even ready to believe them, to follow them. That is the danger. That's why he said to the prophet, prophesy against these liars. Because Yahweh did not send them. Yahweh did not ask them to do what they are doing. They are doing them for ulterior motive, in order to, seduce his people, to gain all the whole possessions of the world, to make all the profits to make the world their own. Yahweh said they are not going to possess it. They are not going to have it. He's going to clear them. And I pray, as you listen today, all you need, because nobody will escape all this that Yahweh is talking about, except those who hold to the covenant way, except those who tie themselves to the word of Yahweh, except those who listen to him and make his word their food, his word their way of life, his word the only way to benefit from the kingdom he's talking about, from the land. If we hold to his word, if we believe him, if we continue to follow him, then no matter what they do to us, Yahweh will repay them in their own coin. Yahweh will pay them back full time, and they will disappear from the surface of the earth, because they will not be part of the kingdom, let alone inheriting the earth, because the earth is for the righteous. That is what Yahweh is warning for in these latter days. Israel of old, Israel of today, wherever they find themselves, they have become one with the Gentiles. Now, it's a question of whosoever will return to Yahweh and become an Israelite, you have to follow Yeshua. Yeshua is the key. Yeshua is the Torah. Yeshua is the instructor. Yeshua is the law. Yeshua is the word. Follow him. If you follow him, his spirit is in the word also. Will minister to you, will guide you into all truth, and will lead you down to enter into the kingdom. And you will not miss it, because even when the trumpet will sound, everyone that has keyed in and followed him will make it, will not disappear, will not be wiped out. But all the wicked, the rebellious people, all those who are confronting his own people, who do not want this earth to have peace that Yahweh ordained it, will disappear, and the earth will have peace, and have peace forever and ever. That's what Yeshua is coming to do. The Prince of Peace is coming to reclaim the earth and repossess it forever and ever, and endow it with peace, which Yahweh has programmed it for. May that be your portion. May that be my portion. May we be obedient. May we be not just listeners, but doers of his word. And may he rescue us, particularly in these latter days, which is so hazardous, which is terrible, which the Bible describes as something that man hasn't experienced before, and he will not experience again. May we escape it in Yeshua's name. Hallelujah. Any query, any observation, any comment?